What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. 10 self-care habits that have changed my life. Now there is a fine line between being selfish with our time and then taking time to take care of ourselves, to listen to our body, and to give ourselves what we need. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 self-care habits that's really like putting on an oxygen mask on yourself so that you have the capacity to help other people in your life. So many times in my youth, I felt like self-care was selfish. I should be so focused on my family, my friends. But now, as a 30-year-old, I know that it is totally okay to take some time for yourself too. This is going to be a very candid and real conversation of how I take care of myself and the habits I've incorporated into my life physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Self-care habits do not have to feel selfish because you can't pour from an empty cup. So in this video, I hope it motivates you to take some time to take care of yourself, to know how to process some of your feelings so that you can love and help other people more. Number 1, spending time outdoors in nature and seeing the sun. As a California girl, I do get seasonal affective disorder, where I get seasonal depression if it's really gloomy. Sunlight can boost our serotonin levels that really help us feel calm, positive, and happier. Whenever I look at nature, it reminds me of Matthew 6:26-27. Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his span of life? Number 2, dressing for the day. I'm a very practical person, and as someone who works from home, I feel like I could get away with wearing the same thing every day and no one would know except for my husband who sees me. But I've gotten into the habit of changing out of my PJs every single day and dressing for the day. I brush my hair, take care of my skin, and also smell good. I got this new perfume from Dime Beauty, who is today's sponsor. I looked into Dime Beauty because they offer luxury skincare, beauty, and wellness products at affordable prices, and they use really clean ingredients. They're also vegan, cruelty-free, and have no harsh chemicals. And they use eco-friendly glass packaging, and it's super aesthetic. My 2 top favorite scents are 7 Summers and ILYSB. I thought it was I Love You So Bad, but it's I Love Your Smell, Baby. All of their perfumes are very clean and offer a healthy fragrance. And again, they are hypoallergenic, cruelty-free, and National Clean Beauty Day is on July 15th, so keep a lookout on their website for special deals on that day. And click my link below to check out these perfumes and smell them too. I just feel very bougie, but they're an affordable price. Number 3, hygiene. I feel my best when I know I am taking care of my body in multiple ways. I always brush my teeth twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. I floss every single night, and when you're flossing, you really want to make sure you make a C shape with the floss and not just sticking in between your teeth. I wash my hair every other day so that I allow the natural oils to take care of my hair. And I recently got this scalp massager that has been life-changing. It really helps to get the shampoo into the roots of my hair, and it ensures that I'm really getting the product in a nice way. Something else I wish I used a lot more often, and it probably would have helped in terms of making sure I don't age faster, is using sunblock every single day. It does not matter if it's a gloomy day with no sunlight, we have to be wearing sunscreen every single day because of the UV rays. And the UV rays are what cause age spots, it causes us to wrinkle. Sunblock is so important for our skin. Number 4, I cannot stress the importance of therapy or connecting with someone who is older or wiser than you. I feel like especially in America, we live in a society where we feel like I'm gonna figure things out on my own. But it's so great to have somebody guiding you along and helping you through all of the thoughts that go inside our head. I've been going to therapy for over 3 years now, and it's been a space where I can be so honest with my thoughts, with my feelings, and to have someone really talk me through it, remind me of where this comes from, who I really am, and how we're gonna move forward with this. I've learned a lot about my big feelings and how I don't have to be stuck in whatever way I think I am. And I used to always ask myself, is there something wrong with me? Or why am I the way that I am? But I've really been able to just learn a lot more of how does my upbringing now trigger me in different situations? And just being aware of all of that has really helped with my mental health. But also, I now am meeting with someone from my church. She is a mom. She has been through a lot in her life too. So we are connecting about once a month to just kind of talk about the word and to pray with each other and to also talk about life and to kind of glean from each other what we're learning about life and getting through hard times. We all go through hard times. So I found my mentor at my church, but you really want to look at their lives as a whole and think, do I want to become a person like that? And if so, then they'll be a good mentor. Number 5, taking care of our body by stretching. Stretching is so important in our everyday lives. It's really going to help us stay nimble, and it's also going to help prevent injury. There was a phase where I didn't stretch at all, and I felt so stiff as a board. And just moving laterally, I felt like I can't move that that way. But stretching really has impacted me, and it has allowed me to run faster, to lift heavier, because my body is able to move in that way. Number 6 is strength training. On my channel, you're going to see that I go to a class called Berries all the time. It's because they have cardio and weights at the same time. And I know a lot of women feel like, oh, I don't know how to lift weights, or it seems like all these guys are lifting weights. You can, and you can learn. We don't have to be lifting, 50-pound weights. Although if you can, like, more power to you. But start with anything. Start with any type of weight. You can do it. But I've seen the impact strength training has had on my body. For example, if I walked more than a mile, my knee would hurt so badly. And even sitting down, I felt like my knees were always in pain until I started strengthening my thighs, my hips, my glutes, literally my lower body by strength training and really working out the muscles surrounding my knees to really strengthen the muscles surrounding my knees to alleviate all of the pressure it was bearing. I always thought, no, I can't sprint fast because my knees will hurt too much. Now that I've strengthened my legs and the muscles surrounding my knees, I can. Our bodies are so interconnected that if one part hurts, it's probably being impacted by some other body part. So on my gym days, I like to make sure every week that I am covering my upper body as well as my lower body. Some muscle groups that I focus on the most are my back, my arms, my abs, and the lower body in terms of my quads, hamstrings, calves. I feel like I just hit everything but my neck. Number 7, breathing exercises in stressful situations. So I did talk about this before. So box breathing really helps regulate ourselves in stressful situations, where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. Bilateral movements are also ways to help regulate our stress. So being able to move your body left and right, going on a walk. Many times when I start to feel really stressful, I take myself on a little walk and then I come back and revisit the situation because I've now allowed oxygen into my brain. I've also moved my body. It's just a calm way for me to come back. But whenever we get really angry or reactive to a situation, that means it's triggering us either in the past or we're not getting something that we want or expected. But there's always a nicer way to say something, and I find that I can say it nicer when I've taken a moment to regulate myself and to remind myself I am not in danger and I am safe. Number 8, feeding your spirit. So I am a Christian and I've been to 4 different churches in my whole lifetime. So I've seen, lots of different Christians and lots of different denominations, and I've also been hurt by a lot of Christians too. And by no means am I perfect. I just knew this is not how it should be. But the biggest difference is how they choose to have a relationship with the Lord and how they choose to listen. That is their responsibility, and I am responsible for what I am doing with the belief that I have. I am not perfect, and that's why I need a perfect savior. So I'm very mindful of what sermons I listen to, what worship songs I listen to, what articles I read. At the end of the day, I shouldn't come out of a church service feeling better about myself, but understanding what Jesus has done for me and how that covers a multitude of sins, a multitude of doubts and fears, and how that is truly enough. Number 9, listen to yourself less and talk to yourself more. This is something that my senior pastor actually mentioned, but many times the voices in our heads can be very negative, but we listen to ourselves quite often. Probably our voices are the loudest every single day. I can't do it, I'm not good enough, all of those things. But we need to talk to ourselves. What is the truth? Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's tiring, and you don't know when it's going to end, but you're not alone. You are going to get through it. You've come this far, and you're going to finish. Acknowledging something is difficult, but knowing the truth of the situation, that you can do hard things. And number 10 is setting boundaries and being disciplined. First part, setting boundaries. I always thought that if I said no to the people that I love, then I am not loving them or I'm being selfish. That is not true. Over the years, I've learned that taking on the burden of another person 100%, that is not our responsibility. And if anything, we're not really loving them because we're not giving them the opportunity to go through these challenges, to grow and to change. We may be freeing them of the burden, but then they don't get the opportunity to realize what they're capable of because we've just taken it for ourselves. And then a lot of resentment can grow through that too because you feel like, well, it wasn't my responsibility and yet I made it my responsibility. For example, many times in my life, I felt like if my parents were going through a hard time, I wanted to take all the burdens off of them and put it on myself. And I did do that many times, but then there were moments where it ended up hurting me instead. And that was when I learned if it's a consequence from their actions, then they need to go through the growing pain of learning from that. But if we take it away from them and try to take care of it ourselves, then we're robbing them of the opportunity to learn. And part 2 is to be disciplined. Sometimes you're going to have to do things you don't feel like doing. And that's a hard truth I've had to tell myself over and over again, but I've gotten into the habit of doing things even if I feel uncomfortable. Sometimes I don't feel like waking up at 5 in the morning, but I do anyway because I have things to do. And I've proven to myself that I can do that. Sometimes I may not feel like reading my Bible or praying, but it is a spiritual discipline to do it anyway, and to realize we get to do these things. So this is a very casual talk of some healthy habits that I've incorporated into my life, whether it is physical, mental, or emotional. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!